It gives me great pleasure to welcome Daniela up to the podium and whoever you're going to bring with you. So I've only got the biography for Daniela, and she can introduce you to her peers. So Daniela is a clinical associate and lecturer in the Division of Clinical Associates. She holds an undergraduate degree from the University of something that I can't say. And if you would like to know more about her bio, please check out the app.
Okay, I think it was too long, so it's not there anymore, but I'll update it. Okay, so these are acknowledgements and our disclosures, and because my time has run out, I am going very fast. So what I want to share is the first, after me, the rest of those authors, the 5 that you see there, are community members who are co-authors, and not just in my acknowledgements as saying thanks to the community. All right, so let's give some context. Unfortunately, my presenter notes are not here, so I'm going to wing it because I'm not too sure what's happening. Oh, there they are. All right, so in our South African context, the thing that sort of led to the study is that we're seeing a prevalence of Hep C and HIV, and that if you look at just the prevalence in this particular study, something that I came across recently is that with a biobehavioral survey that was done, the overall prevalence was actually 69.5. And in another study, co-infection was at 65%. So needle sharing among people who inject drugs is a key driver of HIV and Hep C. And at the time, there were limited options for low dead space needle and syringes. And most importantly, what Ernest was presenting in the plenary was that understanding lived experience and risk perception is essential for tailoring interventions. So we had focus group discussions that aimed to gather insights on the potential benefits and disadvantages, facilitators and barriers of using low dead space injecting equipment. Participants in the focus group discussion, the first phase of this LDS study, shared their views on the current equipment offered, and it was offered by ANOVA, which is a Global Fund recipient, and they are rolling out the program within the Ivory Park area. So that we needed to know, before we introduced the Hep C 3P study equipment, what were people's preferences and values. So our discussions explored things like access, injecting practices, potential problems to making the LDSS equipment available. So just to note in this slide, why Ivory Park? An average of 342 unique people who had injecting drug use were accessing needle and syringe programs in these sites in just 1 month. So that's just what our study table looked like in the materials. But in this particular slide, it's just to note the demographics, 25 participants, and that there was use of heroin as well as methamphetamine. And there were those who used both heroin and methamphetamine in a substance which locally is called a speedball. So this image is also just showing the interconnectedness of all these different factors, in that how, something as simple as supply shortage, and again, Ernest talks about this again, where, you use a metric of how many, you kind of look at how many needles are needed, but they're really not meeting the needs of people, and that drives needle sharing, and then obviously driving the risk of HIV and hepatitis. So in true African fashion, we're going to present the rest of the results in storytelling through spoken word, and that's why my colleagues are here, because as much as my name is on the presentation, but really I couldn't have done this or had gotten any information without the help of my colleagues. So we're going to use spoken word, and the poems are going to talk about the substance use patterns. It's going to talk about issues around police harassment and some advocacy tools that have been used that help, as well as we're going to just share with you the preferences around the existing NSP equipment, and I hope you do enjoy it. So we're going to start off with Kamo, and he's going to start us off. Oh, he's not here. Oh, sorry. All right, I will say his poem on his behalf. Okay. Crystal, so the title is To Hustle, Not to Sleep, the mix that moves me. Crystal and heroin, speedball. Angiko fast kuzo, ngikona klala 2 days ngahambi crystal. Nyenzi speedball. So translated, I'm not fast with it. I can go 2 days without using crystal. When I tell myself I don't want to sleep, I make a speedball. Nguto kherezayo, ngifunu pati mali. I'm a hustler. I want to get my hands on money. The smoking process, it goes by your hustling. If the hustling's okay, I can smoke 8 or 10 a day. They wrote like you should use it once. If you do it once, the hustle is okay. Maybe I smoked 10 on one day, which means I've left with 5 inside one packet, and I still have more than 7 days to get another packet. So that's the big reason that makes us to get shortage of the spikes.
The card. Last year, cause I also complained about the same thing. The police guy, Sanele and stuff, ne. Whenever they catch us with the spikes, they arrest you or say, go and show us the snayman. So I complained to Anova. Apparently, Uzandile, she is an advocate, right? Last year they gave me this white what, like a card. It writes advocate. She came 3 times so people wouldn't be arrested for having syringes. I have the card. Sometimes something like that happened. I showed the card, Gobona. You see? And they went like, government, Gibona bafang dinto tsena. Translation, the government is giving out these things. So it's quite better than getting arrested for Komba Mdaisi, to point out the dealer. We don't even go to court. They only arrest you. Then on the day of court, you wait for those going in. When they take you out, then they take you out after court. With big doors, you don't even go attend court. One of my friends died inside the cell. He was sick. They arrested him for a needle.
Good afternoon. The poem you're about to hear is called They Call Me Doctor. It's a conversation in a dialect of 2 people speaking. Like that's the thing, I'm telling you. Participant number 4. I trust him because I saw him injecting himself on like serious places. Some see me inject other people, another person. They believe that this guy is good. No, do you see that the person is good? Maybe a line, more than 10 people. That's when you can see Hore, that this guy is good. And Hore means that's where you can see like, initially he is good. Serious place. Yeah, I do inject them. They call me a doctor. They say I'm a doctor. And in that echo, between between needle and trust, between the line and the laughter, he walks unlicensed through wounds and whispers. Still, they call him doctor.
Good afternoon. So this one is the anatomy of a spike. The one that he's talking about is this one. This one. He pick up the orange cap 1 ml insulin syringe. Is the one that we are complaining about. You can't use it twice. Once you use it, once you inject yourself, maybe you miss the vein and take it out. When you have to inject it for the second time, it's painful, as if like you used it more than 10 times. And the needle, if it's weak, one mistake it can break inside the vein, inside the skin. The needle of the white one, is too soft. That's why most of people, they are broken inside the vein. You understand? The best of this spike, the best one for my side is this one, the pink one. So they have to stop giving us this orange and white so that we cannot go to our neck, cause it makes us swollen lapho akungafuneli sijove khona, where we are not supposed to inject. Thanks.
All right, so then over to the preferences. So participants were presented with 6 types of LDSS, and the one that came to the top is the Unisharp 1 mil 27 gauge. And this was the issue around presumed quality, that it was stronger and it was slightly thicker needle, but it was also similar to the ProCare, so in terms of something that they were familiar with. Only one participant felt that they would use the detachable, and that was more around the speed ball. Gradation was the biggest thing because people were using 10 to 20 units. So having the 5 mil or the 2.5 mil syringe was quite problematic, as well as there was a reluctance or a hesitancy with the detachable options because they were associated with inoculation. Like people talked about using it for cows, or it reminded them of the clinic. So in conclusion, we found that in our context, especially around safe injecting, knowledge alone wasn't sufficient to shift behavior when it comes to harmful injecting practices. Structural limitations like withdrawal urgency, peer norms were a powerful influence. Risk navigation shaped by emotional, physical, and social contexts were one of the key things. But out of time, that's it. There's my references. And that's it. Thank you.